Greetings, true believers. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are continuing our series of comic book reviews. This is episode 3. And I am joined by, as always, the lovely Alice Rhiannon. Alice, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing good. So, once again, we are diving back into the chair. This is issue 3. It's part 3 of a 4-part limited series by writer Peter Simeti and artist Kevin Christensen from Alterna Comics. It's a horror psychological thriller which covers the human capacity for evil. So, I'm going to go through our 5 topics: art and writing, the quality, the story, character development, and then our overall impressions. So, Alice, I'll start with you. What did you think about the art and writing for this 3rd issue?
I thought that it was actually really incredible. It was kind of it was kind of fascinating to see how the art and the story really start to parallel, and you really get to see how that works out, with the art definitely reflecting the whole story that's going on. It's really super interesting, actually.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It took a total 360 turnaround, completely unexpected turnaround.
If we sound a little mind blown, that's kind of why.
Yeah, it's definitely mind blowing. There's a big contrast that happens. I'm trying not to go into any spoilers,
right?
But you really can't avoid the spoilers with this particular issue, because all right, in a 4-issue limited series, you kind of assume that if there's going to be a twist, it's going to happen in the last issue. Where in this particular case, it happens in issue 3, and it's
very interesting.
It's very interesting, to say the least. It's mind blowing. So what I liked about the art and the writing in this particular issue is there's a very distinct contrast between the events that take place in the prison and that take place directly with Sullivan, and the events that happen, I guess you could say, outside of the prison, even though it's still in the prison, but outside of there's flashbacks, and then there's the whole setting in the warden's office, in Emmerich office,
right,
which is it's a total complete contrast. I guess we'll get more into detail on that when we cover the story. Again, we're going to the quality of the books. What do you think about the quality of it?
I thought that it was really great. It really fit the entire package. It really fit the entire story as a piece of psychological horror.
Yeah.
It definitely just mirrored that completely.
Yeah,
I'm
totally,
super
completely.
Impressed.
I'm very impressed with it too, and plus the newsprint. I just love newsprint. It just takes me back to my childhood. I guess I say that. I've said it in the past 2 episodes. It takes me back to my childhood. It really does take me back to when I first started reading comics when I was a kid. The newsprint, that was a big thing, and I love that they're continuing with it. It's awesome. So now getting into the actual story, the mind-blowing twists in the story here. What are your thoughts on the story so far?
I really thought that the story was just such a twist. It almost will give you whiplash.
Yeah. You get a total whiplash feeling, what?
The hell?
I was reading it before you, and you were looking at my facial expression. You were like,
I know, I'm sitting there waiting to read it. I'm waiting to grab it after you, because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because my facial, I try not to say anything. I was just I was trying not to even gasp, but I was covering my mouth oh my god.
But you couldn't hide you're like,
yeah, I'm pretty expressive when I'm reading stuff, so I was just like,
it was mind-blowing. It was very interesting.
Very mind-blowing. So there's when we left issue 2, there was a confrontation between Sullivan and the warden Emmerich, and basically the end of issue 2, Sullivan was pleading his innocence, and at the beginning of this one, he's like, please, I'm innocent and I can prove it, and the warden is like, well, you can't blame me for you being here. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just, carrying out my duties as you being a prisoner here. I'm just doing what I do. And,
right.
It's not my fault that you're here. It's the fault of others. It's the fault of you, and it's the fault of whoever put you here. I didn't put you here. So, And also touching on a thing that basically he has a 36-hour stay. In 36 hours, he's going to be executed. So it's 36 hours, this will all be over. And he's pleading his innocence, and then as Emmerich leaves, his desperation turns into anger, and the anger turns into violence.
We just kind of see the story develop from there.
Yeah, which brings us into character development. So, Mr. Sullivan. Yeah, shocking twist, huh?
We learned some things about Mr. Sullivan, and this one, and I don't want to reveal too much, but we definitely learned some things about him.
Well, I think at this point, because actually I was talking to you about this with you earlier.
Yeah.
There's a TV series based on it on Amazon that
Yeah.
we're definitely going to be checking out
Oh yeah, we're
eventually.
gonna have to do that.
But you really can't review the book without going into at least a few of the details
Yeah.
of the twist, because it's not only a twist in the story, it's a twist in the quality of the artwork.
Yeah.
Well, the artwork takes it takes a more refined look to it.
Mhm.
So okay. Spoiler coming, spoiler. Hello, spoiler. So here goes the spoiler. All right. So the biggest spoiler is that what we learn, well, when the warden walks away and a guard comes in to like kind of calm him down, and, like starts beating on him like the guards
Yeah.
do, he completely snaps, and the guard's like, what's wrong with you, Sullivan? And he's like, who's Sullivan? And then
Yeah.
we
He loses.
basically you see him go through a psychological break,
Right.
like he just completely
The
snaps.
guards have to come in with the needle to stick
Yeah,
him,
they have to like
drug
sedate him to
and
drug
do
him
that whole
because
thing, restrain him
yeah,
until
he
he
like
gets
he
out.
didn't
And,
only kill the guard that was messing with him. He was
Whoa.
like, the guards were like, that's so and so. At least I think that's what he is, because he stomped his face until the point where it was unrecognizable.
Right.
So like complete utter violence. So what we basically find out is that Sullivan suffers from delusional schizophrenia
Yeah,
and
he had
multiple
paranoid-
personality
Yeah.
disorder, with at least 4 known personalities, and one of those personalities believes that he's innocent.
Right.
And there's a transition where this is where the art and the writing and the quality does a distinct shift in tone and everything, because everything in the prison, the pages are black and the
Right.
artwork is white, and the white is set up on the black. And when you shift to where the warden is sitting in his office, the pages are white. It's like a normal comic book, and like the
Right.
artwork is more tame. It's
Right.
more natural, more
Very
normal,
refined and
very refined. Yeah,
pulled together.
yeah, and like then you see the warden, and he doesn't look as demonic as he appears.
It all looks very clean and professional.
Yeah, it looks like he's like a normal guy, and like he gets a phone call from, I guess, the governor, and they're talking about the execution that's coming up, and he actually seems remorseful that he has to go through with this execution.
It seems like he's having his own issues.
Yeah, exactly. The warden is having his own issues, so you have 2 very distinct personalities. Well, more than that, you have the warden's personality, and then you have Sullivan's 4 personalities, which I guess we've seen 2 of them. But like this guy, apparently one of his personalities, or maybe more, has committed some atrocities that actually that's why he's in prison.
I'm gonna have to go back now and go through the whole thing and look at it again.
Yeah, because they go through these various crimes.
Now I'm really interested.
Yeah, especially when you you look at the page that the warden is reading. He's reading off like his list of crimes, like he's did this and he did this, and he's the state what is it, the Steak Place Park killer or something like that. Like he murdered and raped, and
there's all kinds of stuff going
all
on.
kinds of crazy things that this guy did. And then, but the thing is, like, for the first 2 issues of the book, we see Sullivan under the persona that he's innocent.
From the first page, him claiming his innocence.
Right, and then all the way up until this one.
Story from there and just continue until we.
Yeah, until we get to this freaking shocking twist. Like, oh my god, like, I was totally blown away with it. So, overall impression of issue 3 of The Chair, Alice. What did you think?
Well, I mean, I thought it was basic. It was a masterpiece of its own kind. I mean, it was definitely as a piece of psychological horror.
Yeah.
And where, I mean, it's really very deep, and it's got a very thought-provoking story. Very, very relevant, coherent art.
Yeah.
Completely. Everything about it was just very pulled together and very intelligently designed, and
very intelligently designed, thought through, and executed. The execution of it all is just like it totally take from that split, because you get a full page spread and it looks like someone completely going insane, just losing it, and then from that you transition into normalcy, like what reality is. So it's like what we've seen from issue 1 through 2 and the beginnings of issue 3 is like this personality that is perceiving everything as like the world is against me, I'm innocent, why am I here, I don't belong here with these killers. Right. And then we find out that, well, actually, that particular personality might be innocent, but the other three may not be. Like, what the hell? Like, it's really, yeah, it's just mind blowing. Like, I'm definitely going to read it again because it's just
Yeah.
like
It's
again,
really
my
good.
face when I was reading, I was
So
just like, oh, like
this
covering
has
my
been
mouth, like,
very well done. So good job,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, good
Like good
job. Like,
job for
definitely
real.
hats
That was
off to
incredible.
Peter Simeti and yeah, just amazing, amazing work here.
Wow.
And I'm really looking forward to issue 4. So yeah, issue
Yeah,
3 of the
awesome.
chair was freaking
Fantastic. Mind blowing.
mind blowing, bananas. Yes, mind completely blown. Like,
Boom.
exactly, like total twist. So yeah, that's it for this one. As always, like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell to find out when we drop new videos. And that's it for this one, guys. We will see you all in the next one. Peace.